Ladies, how you doing? All right. Joining us from Auburn, student-athletes Honesty Scott Grayson and Taylon Collins. The format for today will be questions and answers. Please wait for the microphone and state your name and affiliation before your question. Also, please silence your cell phones. If you're joining us on Zoom, please use the hand raise function. We'll get to the questions here first, and if there's time, we'll get to the Zoom questions. First question, up front here. She's coming.
Hi, Pat Eaton-Robb from the Associated Press. Welcome to Connecticut. Can you both first just talk about what you know about Arizona, and then talk about playing this game in this venue where you look up and there are 11 national championship banners on the wall, and it's kind of a place where a lot of women's basketball fans show up every night?
Where do you start? Where do you want me to go? Well, I've been coming here since I was little, so it's definitely to finally be able to play on the court. It's a big accomplishment for me personally. As far as Arizona, we know that they play up the line defense, kind of similar to ours. We know that they're really aggressive, and so we're just gonna have to. I feel like it's all gonna be about a game of turnovers. So just following our game plan and sticking to our scout is gonna be most important. So.
Yeah, that was one of the first things that this team noticed walking into the gym was all their national championship appearances or the NCAA tournament appearances, their national championships, and it was really cool to see just what this team has accomplished. And kind of what On said, we know this team plays very similar defense to ours, so making sure that on our end we're taking care of the ball and just doing everything that we need to do to get this win.
Questions? We'll go to the left here.
First off, congratulations, ladies. Britt Bowen, Auburn Sports Properties. This is for both of you. You both have played in the NCAA tournament years prior at previous schools. How do you use that experience to get you ready for the week ahead?
I would say that just really taking in the experience is something that you kind of have to remember to do. I know playing on a big stage, you can kind of let your nerves get the best of you, but just remembering to leave everything out on the court, playing with no regrets is the main thing.
Yeah, same thing Taylon said. Just taking everything in and, knowing that it's just another game. It's just on a higher stage, a higher level. NCAA tournament is something that we really wanted to be. We made that our goal, and now that we're here, we have to embrace it and, take full advantage of the moment.
Questions? Up front.
For both of you, I want to get the players' perspective of what the new transfer portal rules have meant, both of you coming from other schools. Do you feel like it gives players a little more power, a little more voice than they had previously? And in terms of being able to form a team quickly, is that something that was important to you guys when you came over, knowing that you guys could form something quickly and get to where you wanted to be?
It's kind of a good question. I entered the transfer portal a long time ago. I didn't really look at it like that. I just, was trying to find somewhere where I could, be comfortable and fit in. But as far as the transfer portal, I just feel like it's a place where people, need to find their home and just feel comfortable. I feel like it gives opportunity to feel other coaches out and be with other players. That's really all I really have to say about the transfer portal.
I personally love the transfer portal, but I just feel like it gives players a way to where they're not feeling stuck. Because, when you're coming out of high school, you feel like you have this big decision to make, and it's like you can only make one, and and you like the pressure is on of like finding the right home for you. And so if they do choose to go wherever and they end up not happy or whatever the circumstance may be, they have the opportunity to go play somewhere else if that's what they need to do, if that's what they need to do in order to grow as a player. And I love that it allows players that freedom to where they're not always feeling like they're going to be in a box for the next 4 years.
Questions? On the left here.
That was good. I don't know what to say.
I'm Larry DeShera with the Auburn radio crew. You know, ladies, congratulations. You're gonna be on the big stage, and there's gonna be a lot of emotion. And y'all are older. You've been here before. How is your leadership style going to be important to this team to keep their emotion in check? Because y'all are not the most boisterous. Y'all are kind of quiet leaders. So talk about that and how that's going to make a difference.
Kind of as I mentioned before, I just feel like the main thing is making sure everybody remains level-headed, because it is such a big stage, a big platform that you're put at, especially with these freshmen, it being their first time. And I just feel like what we could do is just keep everybody calm, keep the nerves down, because I know they're going to be up. But, yeah, just remaining as level-headed as possible.
I agree. You know, we might even be nervous, you know, first couple minutes once tip-off happens, but it's up to us to, you know, keep our underclassmen, you know, under wraps. And I feel like we're going to do a good job of that. Just making sure everybody's on the same page and, you know, everybody gets those jitters out. So.
Questions? Up front.
Hey, can you just talk about the playing in the playing game, playing earlier than everyone else? Do you think that is an advantage to be able to get out early and not have to think about things for a week, or do you think it's a disadvantage in that if you win, you know, you have one more game than everybody else?
I feel like, I don't know, I feel like it's kind of both, but more so an advantage, just to, you know, get one game under our belt to get us up and down running. I feel like that would be good for us, but to turn around and have to play again would probably be our disadvantage. But I feel like, you know, we're going to have the proper recovery to be prepared for that. So
I would agree. I think she said, yeah, there's nothing more to really add to that.
Can you talk about just the reality of what could be the last game of the season, and what does that do in terms of pressure on you guys? And do you think that that's something that will affect your play?
I think that, you know, going into the NCAA tournament, it's always like one and done. And so you got to play every game like it's your last, regardless of whether we're doing a playing game or whether we're already in the first round. Every game is you got to play like it's your last, so making sure to leave everything out there.
I agree. I agree. I feel like the rest of our team has that mentality as well. We're all on the same page when it comes to that. We all know that this is a one-and-done type of deal. So we try not to even think about it like that. We just go out there, give it our all, and, you know, come out with the win and move on to the next one.
Any other questions? Ladies, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
For all those in attendance, Hammond Communications will post a recording of this press conference in the NCAA Digital Media Hub at ncaa.veritone.com. And transcripts are provided by ASAP and will be posted shortly. Thank you for joining us. Huh?
You have to look here, and someone has a hand raised.
There was someone there?
Yeah, see, this is where, I'm gonna do this for you.
I didn't see it.
Yeah, no worries. So, we'll go here.
So,
I'll set it up this way, we'll do it the next way.
Sounds good.
I didn't see it.
Oh, there you go. I think this will be cups. Okay. Coach, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
All right.
I'm a little hoarse today. No, I'm a lot hoarse.
We're joined by Auburn head coach Johnny Harris. The format for today will be an opening statement from Coach, followed by questions and answers. If you have a question, please wait for the microphone and state your name and affiliation. We will take care of the questions present, and then we'll go to Zoom if the time permits. Coach.
Just excited to be here. My team have come a long way since the first day, since, you know, we brought in 9 players that didn't play here last year. So they have really grown together and have come a long way. And I'm just really excited to see how we come in here and compete in this environment.
Questions? We'll go right up front here. Pat.
Hi, Coach. Pat Eaton
Hi.
with the Associated Press.
How are you?
I'm doing great. Can you talk a little bit about team building in this new portal era? Is it something you embrace? Is it something that we heard a lot of coaches even talk in Congress about how they're getting out of the business because it's just not what it used to be, yet you are able to come in and build a team and get players that you might want. So what are your thoughts about team building in this era?
You know, I embrace it. I mean, you have to embrace it. It's the new way of the world, of our world now. So you have to embrace it and just have to find creative ways to team build. And we start out in the summer having team building exercises. We do a lot with our staff and our players together. So I think that really helps our players come together. You know, we put them through a lot of adversity. We put them through a lot of team building stuff. But we also take them and have fun. We go to WNBA games together in the summer. We take them to my house. I'll cook and we hang out in the backyard and, you know, just stuff like that. They have dance-offs with against our coaches. So it's the team against the coaches and just little things like that where they have to lean on each other. And they're kind of going against the coaches, so they're competitive. But like I said, just a lot of stuff like that to help bring them together. And the thing about this team is they bonded really, really fast. And we were able to go overseas on a foreign tour, and I think that helped even more.
Quick follow-up to that. You've obviously lost some players to the portal. You've gotten players in the portal. Do you think the portal gives the players a different kind of voice, and does it change the voice you have with the players, knowing that if you say something they really don't like or put them in a position they really don't like, they could be gone?
I do think it gives them a different voice. It doesn't change personally with me, no. I do feel like you can go in and get players that fit your system, but I think you have to be upfront and honest about your system, about your expectations, and, you know, if a player transfer in, they know what to expect, and in some cases that may be a little bit easier.
Question on the left.
Coach Bribbo and Auburn Sports Properties.
Britt.
Two-part question for you. Just the challenges in facing an Arizona team that's so similar to Auburn's, and this will be your third Pac-12 team that Auburn has faced this year. How did the 2 previous games in non-conference play prep you for this moment in the NCAA tournament?
You know, I think, you know, obviously the Pac-12 is tough. So playing those teams earlier, we know that, you know, we're going to have to bring it. I do think that team is very similar to us. So, you know, just we haven't really played a team like this. So that may be a little bit of a challenge. But we've been able to watch some film, and we are very similar. So I really feel like if we come in and do what we do best, we'll have a good chance in this ball game.
Questions for Coach? Go ahead.
Coach, one more, my last one. You've had some great runs in the NCAA tournament at Mississippi State. This is your first opportunity as a head coach. First off, congratulations on that. How do you run that experience to get your team ready and past the excitement of making the tournament, because that's the foundation for your program, and say, hey, we're here to win this week?
Yeah, that's a really good question. I think I have 2 players on my team that have been to the NCAA tournament. So just having them to understand that everything that we do right now is a special situation. That, you kind of rev it up in a game when you have a special situation, when you have overtime. Every play is that. So you have to bring it every play. Everybody has to do their job on every play on both ends of the court. So you coach with a little bit different edge because it's one and done now. And you hope they practice that way and they follow your lead. So that's kind of what we've been doing. That's kind of how I lean on my experience. And that's what has worked for me and the teams that I've coached.
Go ahead.
Larry DeShare with Auburn Radio. Coach, if I were to ask you to describe in 3 words what were the secrets for you getting your team here to the big dance, I already know those 3 words are going to be defense, defense, defense. But let's just let that count for 1 word. What would be the other 2 words that you think best describes why your team was able to make it?
I would say resilience and toughness. I think to be able to bounce back, maybe after adversity or after a loss, you have to be resilient. And this team has been able to do that because of our leadership. I think they come together and they're really hungry, so they have to be resilient. And I would say toughness, because in order to do that, they have to be tough. In order to come in and when your shot's not falling, to be able to still go out and get stops. That requires toughness. It requires toughness to be selfless, which my team is, to understand your role on the team and everybody else's role on the team, and for everybody to do their job. And some of those jobs don't get seen, don't get talked about, but when everybody does their job, the team wins. And so I would say those would be the other 2.
Any other questions? We're going to go to Zoom. There's a question on Zoom. Ainsley, question?
Yes, sir. Coach, Ainsley from AL.com, still down in Auburn here. I want to talk about honesty a little bit. You talked about her recruitment. You went after her as an 8th grader and missed honor, and then obviously she hits the transfer portal. Talk about that recruitment. And then also, did you have to re-recruit her for this last year?
So yeah, but I've been watching Honesty for a long time. She was playing up as an 8th grader. She was a point guard on a really high level Nike elite team, she was doing things that most 8th graders aren't able to do, and it was just natural instinct, and then just watching her grow. So yes, I recruited her from the 8th grade all the way until she was a senior in high school. And then when she first hit the transfer portal out of Baylor, we did talk to her a little bit. We didn't have a scholarship available, but we did talk to her a little bit. And I knew that coming out of there that she was a person that was hungry, and that wanted to get back out on the court and fix some things that had went wrong. So I really had a lot of respect for her, trying to correct mistakes. And then when I got to Auburn, I was excited. She was excited. I think her mom was one of the first people to call me. And so our relationship has really developed there, having that trust. From the very first day, she has said, I want to help Auburn get back to the NCAA tournament. And so I really believe that she has, she's worked her butt off to make sure that we were in this position. So coming into this year, she did have a chance to go on to the next level, but she actually came into my office before I could get to her. Now, she knew I wanted her back, but she came into my office and said, Coach, I want to run it back. She said, I really believe we can be special, and I want to help this team get to the NCAA tournament. And so really, it was just as simple as that. She loves Auburn, and she wanted to see Auburn back where it used to be.
Thank you,
Ainsley,
Coach.
do you have another question?
Nope, I'm good. I'm good.
Okay, any other questions here? Right here on the left.
Coach, when you describe the toughness and the resilience of your team, I know a lot of times that comes from within the team and the players, but it's also something that gets instilled in them by the coaches as well. Take just a second and talk about your current coaching staff and how they've contributed to help get y'all here and to instill those things in your players.
Oh man, my coaching staff is they have been everything to me. They are just loyal, and when I say they model the behaviors that we try to teach our team every day, we teach them working hard. They see what that looks like with my coaches. We teach them doing extra. They come in, they sign my door every day, and they see those coaches working, doing extra all the time. So 3 of those coaches played for me, 2 at Mississippi State, 1 at Texas A&M. They are all champions. They have won at the highest level. And that has been really important because now, they have instant credibility. I've been there. I've done that. I've played at the highest level. So it's hard for these players not to look at them and not listen because you have people that have been there. And then when you put Alex in, who has been a head coach, and she's just selfless and works hard, and she has embraced our system, and she gets after it. And then Coach Fred. Coach Fred comes in with a great resume. He's won national championships in college. He has played for conference championships in the WNBA. So not only can he tell you how to get there, he can help you stick there because he knows what it takes. So I believe our players have a lot of respect for our coaches. It doesn't matter who is on the floor. They have their attention. And so I'm really grateful for that because you don't have that just everywhere, but my coaching staff is amazing.
Any other questions? Coach, thank you for your time and good luck tomorrow night.
Thank you, War Eagle.
As a reminder, Hammond Communications will post a recording of this press conference in the NCAA Digital Media Hub at ncaa.veritone.com. Transcripts are provided by ASAP and will be posted shortly. Thank you for joining us. 2:05. Sorry, we were running late. No, it's all good.
No, that's all right.
Oh, that's good. Well, she texted me. No, it's hey, can I make sure?
Yeah, I noticed back there.
Because it's funny, I was looking at bottom, I didn't see a hand raised.
Right.
Yeah,
And then
that's perfect.
we'll leave that open.
Yeah,
when we
that's
get
great, thank
started.
you.
Yep. And I'll keep swinging.
Okay.
Hopefully, was that a question, hopefully, or she has something?
Well, it's I'll see if we can get, if we win, make it to Friday, and try to get her so she can get that question.
Yeah, thank you, man. So,
Thank
how's
you.
the trip been, okay?
So far, so good.
You get SID?
Yes.
Okay, good.
We got in last night, and then just getting it going.
So I'm friends with Marlene.
Okay.
I've known Marlene for a long
Well,
time.
there's lunch in the brick lobby if you. it's on-
Where's that at?
Go, go out this way, and when you walk around the court, center court,
Yeah.
on the concourse level.
Called what? Brick what?
Brick lobby.
Brick lobby.
You'll see the camera deck,
Okay.
center court right behind it.
Thank you so much. And then I saw what I do. I was an SID for 30 years. I kind of, Division III, I stepped away and I just do all kinds of side stuff. So I was with your softball team in Mexico about 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
Yes, it was
So you
great.
get to know Taylor a
Yeah,
little bit?
she was great.
She's awesome.
Yeah,
I love
she
her.
was great. So yeah, and I told her, she goes, yeah, Marlene's a little busy. That was the weekend. I think you guys had game day coming. So yeah.
Yeah, we had that and Kentucky men in town, and then we were at Alabama the next day, so, yeah, it gets wild this time of year.
Absolutely. Well, good luck to you guys.
Thank you.
So you guys are staying by the airport, huh?
Yeah, and I think Arizona is too. Syracuse is at the downtown Marriott in Hartford.
See, that's
Jackson State is in Norwich.
And see, that's the and I live 5 minutes from Norwich, so I know